Welcome back to our coverage for the latest round of Africa Off-Road, Sannieshof, and time for the cars. We go down in the pits and catch up with the stars.
Hi, my name's Johan Lloyd, co-driver Arnold Tron. We're at the event of Sannieshof Festival. It's a very nice event. Let's see what the clouds bring up to, but I hope it's going to be a nice race as well.
Yeah, thank you guys, enjoy the race.
Hi, my name is Glenn Teron, riding this Ford Mustang. Well, it's a Ford Ranger with a Mustang motor in. Behind us, Malcolm Stewart, my brother-in-law, is our navigator, co-driver. But it's quite exciting for us today because it's the first time we've ever raced off-road in a car. I've done a bit of bike racing, but the car thing is brand new. So, and we've only done 70 Ks in total testing, so we hope to just finish today. That'll be a good start.
So great situation and a kind of trend that we've seen the whole way through the 2018 running of the Africa Off-Road Championship Race Series. New names, new cars, new scenes, and often new race winners. Fourth Peter Fumfai had to take a back seat last time out, but he will be the first car off the queue come the lineup. Camille gave us some incredible breakout drives from a couple of stars, but one of the stories coming off the entry list at Sannieshof is again over 50 cars in the queue. We'll also have a new category lining up a little bit later on, which will be the Plus Buckies. But for the cars, they'll have seen what happened for the motorbikes and quads. The cars will be lining up in a little bit of damp drizzle. The ambulance crew, thanks for being on site. We hope we don't have to use you. And as always, Wolf Peter Fumfai, the giant killer, the single-seater B category car that so often has some standout drives. He'll try and hang on to the lead as he opens up the track going onto lap number 1. A version of the track that the bikes and quads have been racing, so it will be nicely cut up. Willy Feldman and Cornelius Niemann will do the chase down in the F2. They're coming off one of their best drives of the season at the Camille event. Monis and Jaco Dupree this time out in the D7. We'll see what they can do in the unstoppable Mitsubishi Colt. Brandon Martin will be the second of the B categories and second of the single-seaters. And single-seater off-road racing has seen something of a renaissance in 2018 with absolutely tons of them coming out the woodwork. Michel Bonner on the B20 will be the third of these cars, and as I am almost famous for saying, the B category is becoming the most difficult category to win in off-road championship racing. Tian Prinsloo and Inge Kirsten starting to see a lot of those vehicles come up for sale as well. I actually think I saw Martin van Josveld's dad was selling one of these cars. So go onto Facebook and see what you can track down there. Martin van Josveld, I think he was giving it away for a couple of bucks, like 80k or something like that. Johnny Walker, junior and senior in the B1. They have some up and down results through the tour. And they'll just be hoping to walk away with podiums this time out. Johan Besson and Jaco Esterhuizen in the B11 machine. So all the B categories rolling out first. It'll be up to the production vehicles to do the big chase down a little bit later on in the queue. And then, as I said, we have a new category. So if you fancy coming in with your farm bucky or your blast bucky, borrow the keys off Dad and come play with us here out in the Northwest Province. John Boxon had a good drive at the previous event. Pretty sure I saw him getting himself up into a top 5 coming out of Camille. Sifu van Skalkbeek and Arthur Croshaw in the B100. Nice new liquor paint. And a very well prepped Bar Harbug. Hein Kruger and Marais take us on board as they're going to get bounced and bucked around in the D19. Not too much suspension development on this car in the Hindcore colors, so they will be getting bounced all over the place. E category, sometimes we see a lot, sometimes we see a few. This time it's Haasbroek and Jans van Rensburg going out in the E44. Remember the E category? Some of the older vehicles out there, and some of the newer vehicles chasing them down in the G20. Marcus Labuskachny and Neil Putter side by sides, seeing 10% growth event on event. Master Jacobs and Nazir Tate being up now into the D1. For so many years they've been chasing down that, and now they are the car to beat in the Landy. The G111 of Clarence and Annelies Verskerke showed good form at the previous event, and they'll be trying to break their way inside of a top 10 overall and a top 5 on their machine. Johan Lloyd and Arnold Teron in the B22 in the Subaru colors. Often we are asked Why they're running Subaru stickers on their car? Well, it's because they're on a WRX engine. Interesting setup indeed. Freddie O'Brien and Johan Retief on the B39, running one of the highest suspension machines out there, and they'll be chased down by Vickers Haasbroek and Marco Solomson in the G21. These guys are a definite podium threat, but they'll be wanting to make the move up at some point this season into the unstoppable Can-Am Mavericks. Slightly wider track and better suspension, higher speeds as well, as they're chased down by Smith and Co. Giel Nel and Dewald Hutting in the P47. P category, they'll be running a V6 engine. You can hear it just warbling away there. As off the line comes another E category car. This should be a big threat for a win in the E's for Aki and Jean-Andre Kruger. Robbie Moore and David Francis in the B30. And like we said, over 50 cars making the lineup queue here at Sannieshof as we eye up the halfway mark of the 2018 season for the Africa Off-Road Championship Racing Series. Brought to you by N1 4x4, your Land Cruiser and Toyota four-wheel drive experts in association with Pirelli, as the second of our bugs heads on out there. A new car on the tour, Force Prinsloo and Kenneth Fenter in the T41. A couple of Fords making the lineup queue here. Previous model to the car that is out there at the moment, racing in the National Championship, and they'll be followed by the second of the Fords in the queue, Glenn Turon and Malcolm Stewart. We caught up with these guys earlier on, and they were quite hopeful about how they were going to run. But remember, with a newly developed car, there's going to be some teething problems for the car or the co-driver and driver to figure out. Strauss and Jan-Han Kutsia. Plenty of experience behind the wheel and the navigation notes there. Van Breda and Barnard will go out and try and chase down a win on the D14. So great to see so many different and new buckies getting rolled out at this event. Alec Abbott, again, the single-seater B category is on the up and up and up. Everyone seems to have gone digging way deep in their garages and workshop to pull those things out of the dust. Ahmed and Mohammed Hussein in the D10. One of the original Nissan hardbodies. Listen to those revs go up. Willem Rousseau and Fanny Buerta attacking off the line in the D77. Nice development coming out of Nissan in the early 2000s. They're starting to find their way into the lineup here at Africa Off-Road Racing. Dion and Simone Mons in a double-seater B91 entry. Nadia Esterhazen and Michelle Besson in the C category, C12. Most of the cars on for a predicted 4 laps of racing, with a lap time of just under or just over an hour, depending on how you run. These are the farm buckies, the Plas buckies of Daniel Wieser and Johan Rademeyer. And then one of the early model Hiluxes of Gert and Madeline Steen. Join us after the break to see how all of our over 50 entries run as we break out into the fields around Sannieshof.
Finally done, bro. 1, 2, 3.
I just don't think we're gonna get it done.
We have no more time for to go wrong.
What the hell is going on here?
What the hell's going on here? Who the hell brushed against this car?
This could change our lives.
Lambo Joe will walk away with the W.
Join us in our coverage of the latest round of the Africa Off-Road Championship Race Series from Sannieshof. Brought to you proudly by N1 4x4, your Land Cruiser and Toyota four-wheel drive experts in association with Pirelli. No change out front, as first man off the line, Wolf-Peter Frompfei continues to lead, but is getting closed down rapidly by Willy Fellman and Cornelius Niemann, who are in full-on attack mode. These two are on an absolute flyer at the moment, coming off a great drive at the previous round at Camille. started third, remains third. Monis and Jaco de Prea slightly more delicate through the quarry section. After that, Brandon Martin still remains in fourth place, but second of the Class B single-seaters. And again, we seem to find these tracks every now and again that really suit the single-seater lighter versions of the B categories. Barner also in good form as he stays inside the top 5 and 5th overall. Tian Prinsloo and Inga Kirsten getting closed down by the Subaru. And look at that inside line coming charging through for Johan Lloyd and Arnold Theron. They're just keeping that horn absolutely buzzing. I don't know if they've had to step out of the car at some point, but the navigator door looked like it was open, but don't see it affecting their speed at all. They're absolutely lit. The Walkers come charging through, Johnny Walker Jr. and Senior. They look like they may have made 1 or 2 passes out there in the early stages of lap 1. And through the quarry section, one of the slowest sections of the track, you can see a lot of moving and shaking going on. Johan Boxhorn on the B99. Misfire, definitely doesn't sound like the engine is running exactly how he wants it to. And the first of the bugs is still on the running. Van Skalkbeek. But then the first of the charging side-by-sides, just about to get closed down by Hein Kruger and Paul Murray in the D19. We go on board with the crew as they pick up on the flatland section. There will be navigation comms inside the cab, as well as those hand gestures. Glenn Theron and Malcolm Stewart, their first time out in a new vehicle, the T110. Look like they are doing a sterling job, and nothing better than hearing that incredible engine on the Mustang. Well, it was incredible until it wasn't. Unfortunately, flywheel problems hindering them the whole way through loop number 1. They were definitely on for an incredible drive up until that point. Quick stop for a splash and dash as they repair the flywheel and get back up and trucking. Dion and Simone Moans, the engine is not happy on that car, and that white smoke, hopefully that's just a little bit of overheating and they'll be able to run it slow and cool it down. Certainly enough to stay within the race. Clarence and Annelies Verskerke doing a good job to stay ahead of Muster Jacobs and Nazir Tate in the D1 Landy. Spoken about the Landy quite a lot through the years. Not too much suspension development on that machine, so they have to tippy-toe a little bit. Vickers Halsbrook and Marco Solmonson. That's the cool thing about these side-by-sides. When you get into little spectacular sections like this, they are like motocross bikes. They can just hop and pop and jump around. And all the drivers and navvies say that they are the best fun out there. Klaus Prinsloo and Kenneth Fenter narrowly missing out on some wholesale biltong as some of the livestock was tippy-toeing just at the entry of the quarry. Nothing like a screaming Ford engine though to scare them off. That would have been a heart-in-mouth situation, but thankfully in that zone where the livestock was, most of the cars are starting to anchor up there and slow down the pace. Later on in the lap, this car would have a big rollover but land back on its wheels and keep on going. No problems for Bob Moore and David Francis, but there was going to be no beating out on Nishal Barner. Incredibly enough, Barner charged his way through, and that aggressive style brought him his first win of the season. He was the first man to see the checkered flag and gets the big thumbs up as he comes on through. A spectacular drive from Barner, who has been coming on strong the whole way through the season. Labuskakny and Putter come on through there as second wheel and first of the G-Class side-by-sides. They are an absolutely spectacular pairing to watch come through. And the Can-Am Maverick is a tough car to beat. Hein Kruger and Paul Murray, our onboard superstars, have been doing a sterling job to bring us all that footage. And they walk away with a nice win in the D category, beating out on Monis de Prea and Jaco de Prea. The Toyota coming good here at Sannieshof. So the de Preas did a sterling job there in the D7. But it's going to be a number 2 spot for them this time out. Sifa van Skalkbeek and Arthur Croshaw in the B100 starting to piece together an incredibly solid championship. That gives them second place in the Class Bs. A little bit of damage on the car this time around though. Horst Prinsloo and Kenneth Fenter showing the war wounds of their efforts in their Class T vehicle. But that is going to give them the Class T win for their first time out. Not bad for the rookies as they beat out Glenn Theron and Malcolm Stewart. Wolf Peter Funfai, the Giant Slayer, this time around in the B17, he's going to have to take third place on the podium. Geert Kilnell and Duval Hutting in the P47. Let's see where they're going to be walking away. They're going to take the Class P win. B31 for Tiaan Prinsloo and Inge Kirsten, just off the box this time around. 4th place for them. Clarence and Annelies Verskerka, the G111. So strong, so impressive. 2nd place in category for them. Somehow she's still got a clean face and the makeup is still spot on. Jaco Rousseau in the B46 comes home. 5th wheel in a 14-car entry coming from the B category. In the E's, Aki and Jean-Andre Kruger walk away with it, beating out Lawrence Haasbroek and Johan van Rensburg. Boxholm comes through as well, 6th wheel for him, beating out on Freddie O'Brien and Johan Retief in the B39 machine. Not too many cars falling by the wayside this time around. Carleen Croshaw and Marianne van Skalkbeek in the C100. Good drive for them. Sees a rock solid position in C category and the win, beating out ahead of Vahim Jacobs and Adam Tate. Alec Abbott does a good enough job to squeak into single digits in the B category. 9th place for Abbott. And here's a breakdown of the categories come the end of play at Sannieshof. In the Special Class Bs, Nashir Bana gets the win overall, beating out Sifi van Skalkbeek and Arthur Croshaw ahead of Wolf Peter van Fey in 3rd place. In the Class Cs, Carleen Croshaw and Marina van Skalkbeek take the win ahead of Fahim Jacobs and Adam Tate, with Nadia Oosthuizen and Michelle Besson unfortunately DNFing. Production Class Ds was Hein Kruger and Paul Murray beating out Manus and Jaco Dupré, and Muster Jacobs and Nazir Tate DNFing with a massive rollover. In Production Class E's, Aki and Jean-Andre Kruger only finishes in the category, and Class F went to Willy Feldman and Cornelius Niemann, an incredible drive in the F2. Class G went to Marcus Labuskakny and Neil Putter, getting the win ahead of Clarence and Annelies Verskerka, and Class T going to Vos Prinsloo and Kenneth Fenter, a great drive for the rookies coming in home in the T41. We go down to the pits to catch up with some reactions.
I just want to say thank you to Flip and Valma for this amazing event. This is my 2nd time navigating for Tiaan Prinsloo, and it's been absolutely great here at Sannieshof. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
The Landy pairing of Muster Jacobs and Nazir Tate had a story to tell come the end of play.
They say when you do something, you better do it right or not do it at all. And this is the end result.
You guys okay and all of that?
And now we're okay. You'll see us by the next race. Hopefully we'll be back.
Big damage on the Landy. That is a little bit of mid-season rebuilding going on back home at the workshops. So that draws a line under the Sannieshof event. A couple of new names, new winners, and a big thank you once again to N1 4x4, your Land Cruiser and Toyota 4-wheel drive experts, as well as Pirelli. Join us for the next round at Otisdal on the 9th of June.